There are things people don't talk about. Not because they are not real, but because speaking about them feels like opening a door you may not be able to close again. In the daytime, everything looks normal. People go to work, laugh, post pictures, and greet their neighbors. But there are battles that don't show in the sunlight. Battles that wait. For silence, for darkness, for the moment when you are alone. Thandi didn't believe in those things. At least, not at first. She lived in a small, quiet house on the edge of the township. Her life was simple. Work, home, phone, sleep. Nothing dramatic, nothing spiritual. Just normal. Until the night it started. She woke up suddenly, her heart racing for no reason. The room was dark but not unusual. She turned her head slightly and looked at the time on her phone. 3 a.m. She sighed, turned to the other side and tried to sleep again. Then she heard it. Thandi. Her eyes opened slowly. She sat up. The voice had been soft, almost like a whisper. Familiar, but not quite. She listened carefully. Nothing. The silence returned so quickly it made her question herself. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe her mind was just tired. She lay back down. But sleep didn't come easily after that. The next night, it happened again. Same time, 3 a.m. Her eyes opened before the sound even came, as if her body already knew. Thandi. This time it was clearer. She sat up faster. Who's there? Her voice was small, careful. No answer. She looked around her room. The door was closed, the window slightly open, curtains moving gently with the night air. Nothing. But something didn't feel right. The third night, the voice changed. It wasn't just calling her name. Thandi, come outside. Her heart began to pound. She stared at the door. Come outside. It sounded closer this time, like it wasn't just outside the house, but right at the door. She stood up slowly, her feet cold against the floor. Step by step, she walked toward the door. Her hand lifted. It hovered over the handle. And then, a memory hit her. Her grandmother's voice. Soft, serious. Not every voice that calls you is meant to be answered. Thandi froze. Her hand trembled. Something deep inside her pulled her back. And just as she stepped away from the door, bang! Something slammed hard against it. She screamed and stumbled backward, her heart beating wildly. Silence followed. Heavy, thick silence. That night, she didn't sleep at all. From that moment, everything began to change. She stopped feeling safe in her own house. Every sound felt louder. Every shadow felt alive. Mirrors made her uncomfortable, as if they were showing more than just her reflection. She started leaving lights on at night. But the voice didn't stop. It became stronger, more demanding. Thandi, come outside. Open the door. And one night, it said something that made her blood run cold. You belong to us. She broke down, crying, shaking, confused.
She didn't understand what was happening. She hadn't done anything. She hadn't gone anywhere strange. She hadn't invited anything. So why was this happening to her? Days passed, but the nights were worse. She grew weaker, tired, drained. It was as if something was slowly pulling life out of her. One afternoon, her friend visited her and immediately noticed something was wrong. You don't look okay, she said. Thandi tried to laugh it off. I'm just tired. But her friend didn't believe her. After a long silence, she said, "Come to church with me tonight." Thandi hesitated. Church wasn't really her thing, but something inside her, something desperate, said yes. That same evening, across town, another story was unfolding. Lerato sat on her bed, staring at nothing. Her life looked normal on the outside, but inside, there was a pattern she couldn't ignore anymore. Her older brother had lost his mind years ago. He would speak to himself, laugh at nothing, disappear for days. Her uncle had died suddenly, no clear cause, and now she was beginning to feel it. It started with dreams, the same dream, over and over. She was running as fast as she could. Something was chasing her, but every time she turned to look, she couldn't see it. She would wake up breathless, her heart racing, her body shaking. At first, she ignored it. Then things began happening during the day. She would forget things, simple things. She would feel sudden waves of fear for no reason, and sometimes she would hear whispers. Faint, distant, but real. She tried to talk to her mother about it. "Why is this happening to me?" Her mother avoided her eyes. "It's nothing," she said. "You're just stressed." But Lerato didn't accept that. One evening, she pushed harder. "Something is wrong in this family. I can feel it." Her mother went quiet. A long silence filled the room. Then slowly, almost reluctantly, she said, "There are things we don't talk about." Lerato felt a chill. What things? Her mother looked away, but the truth was already starting to surface. Years ago, before Lerato was born, something had been done. A decision, a visit, a ritual. Not to God. Something else. Something that promised protection, success, security. But nothing comes without a cost, and whatever was invited never left. That same night, Lerato also found herself unable to sleep, and for the first time, she heard it. A whisper. Not clear, but present. Her heart dropped. Across the city, two different lives were being pulled into the same unseen reality. That night, both Thandi and Lerato walked into the same church. They didn't know each other. They didn't know their stories were connected. But something had brought them to the same place. The atmosphere was heavy. The music was soft. People were praying. But beneath it all, something deeper was happening. Thandi sat quietly, her body tense. Lerato stood at the back, her arms folded. Then suddenly, Thandi felt a sharp pain in her chest. She gasped. At the same time, Lerato felt dizzy. The room seemed to spin, and then they both fell. People rushed towards them. Voices filled the room. Confusion, panic. But one woman stepped forward, calm, unshaken. She looked at them carefully. "This is not confusion. This is exposure." The room went quiet. Thandi began to shake. Her voice changed slightly. "It calls me every night." Lerato started crying. "It's in my family." The woman nodded slowly. She understood. Spiritual things don't just appear. They are either invited or inherited. As she began to pray, the atmosphere shifted. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it was powerful. Thandi's body tensed. Her voice changed slightly. She opened the door. Lerato's voice followed. "It belongs to the bloodline." The truth was unfolding. Thandi's grandmother had opened a door years ago. Lerato's family had made a covenant. Different paths, same darkness. But now, they were both standing in the same place, a place where that darkness could no longer hide. The woman's voice grew stronger. "Whatever has a claim loses it today." There was resistance, struggle, tears, but something was breaking slowly, surely, until suddenly everything went still.
The heaviness lifted, the tension disappeared. Peace filled the room, not loud, but undeniable. Days later, Thandi and Lerato sat together outside the church. The sun was warm, the air felt different, lighter. "I almost opened the door," Thandi said quietly. Lerato nodded. "I didn't even know a door existed." They both sat in silence for a moment. Then the woman who had prayed for them joined them. "That's how it works. Sometimes you open the door." She paused. "Sometimes it was opened for you." They looked at her. "But freedom," she continued softly, "is always a choice." They didn't say anything. They didn't need to, because for the first time in a long time, they felt free. Not because everything in their lives was perfect, but because something inside them had changed. And sometimes that's where the real breakthrough begins, because not every battle is visible, not every struggle is physical, but no matter how it started, God still has the final say.